Okay, I'm going to try and explain some of the things that have been happening here. This is a video taken right outside my master bedroom window. Have quite a few of my, little friends around me right now. Some of them not so little, some of them very little. I'm starting to understand a little more about these particular demons there. Actually quite remarkable, spectacular with how they form. I'm completely blown away, actually, with my background in physics and math and other things. It's unlike anything that we have ever experienced on Earth before. Especially since my eyes were changed. Like I said, they got fried out pretty bad. I bled out of them for a good 30 days, and then when my vision started to come back, I could see these things quite well, which enabled me to be able to utilize certain computer vision, all kinds of different Python scripts that I wrote, Mathematica and MATLAB, you name it, across the board. And now I'm starting to piece some things together. But I just took a little quick 2 minute video, not even 2 minutes actually, and I'm going to go through some stuff. I think this is the last frame of the video, and I am going to play the video for you here shortly. I just wanted to kind of show you a few things. I'm inside a Movavi photo editor. I just wanted to take a still frame so you know what to look for when you're actually watching the video, and you can understand what I mean when I say that, the house is demonically infested. It's interesting that I did discover they were around in a video that I had from about 5 years ago that I found, and they were certainly around then because I can see them now, so I know that they were around then, which still puts it into the BS Camps lair. But it is also a possibility that, aside from the BS Camps, black magic and witchcraft and other negative things they've done against me, which there are other entities around besides these particular formations, that this might be a generational curse, as I understand. I've been researching it pretty heavily, and although generational demons are not supposed to be here today, technically, if you believe in the word of Jesus, then in the New Testament, Jesus died on the cross 2,000 years ago for us. And, those who believe in the word that accept, our Lord and Savior, Master Jesus, then they're not supposed to be here, and they know that. But nonetheless, they're here, and they're giving me some dirty looks right now because I think they know I think they know what I'm up to. But tough. I've cast them out enough times, and they've done me enough damage, so I cannot allow this to happen to anyone else. And that's just a fact of the matter. So here we are inside of Movavi. I mean, they've destroyed my life so terribly. I'm scared for my kids. I'm scared for my friends and family. I'm scared. I'm even, no matter how much bad someone does to me, that doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you still stop loving people, or that you considered, loved ones. So, I'm trying to find a way to get these particularities to loose themselves from all the damages they've caused for me over the years, to a point now where there's a good possibility we're all going to be living on the streets here soon. So I certainly hope not. I thought that was going to happen a while back, but as always, God came through with something. But then the BS camp attacked again and managed to have my ex-wife and kids and her man and his daughter all thrown out of their house. And I know that it was them because they also tried to reach out to my landlord and get me kicked out of my house. But luckily my landlord was a little smarter. But they did succeed in getting it's just it's a tough thing to have to digest with everything that's going on with COVID, and then I've got all this stuff to face. It is not easy. I'm spending pretty much so every waking hour working with Mathematica and MATLAB, and other things, trying to decipher what these things are so I can better know how to address them. But nonetheless, it's been it's been torturous is the easiest word to use for you. I'm quite shocked I'm still alive from what I've gone through, but I am still here. And it's been a while since I posted a video, but I want to show you some stuff. So here's just a little video I took a few days ago, just sticking my camera from my bedroom upstairs out the window, looking down at the front yard. And I just wanted to show people, most people won't see these things. I've done some digital enhancements here. And like I said, these are enhancements that don't create images of demons, but they simply, if you know what you're looking for, then you'll know what kind of filters to use to bring them out, which is effectively what I'm doing right now. Just a quick little exercise here. So if you take a look at these, I'm just going to zoom way out of this. Now, that's kind of the perspective I'd have from my bedroom window, about like right there. And it was nighttime, around 11 o'clock or so, and I poked my head out the window, and sure enough, there they all are. And of course, always looking right at me with persecution, trying to convince me I've done something wrong. But I think they know that I know better. I haven't ever done anyone wrong in my life. I just that's not the way I'm wired. So at least not intentionally. So I'm sure that we've all done things that maybe we didn't intentionally do, but like, for example, if someone slides on ice and skids off the road and hits another car and injures someone, did they intentionally do that to injure them? No, of course not. But yeah, that's what I mean. But if someone's driving down the road and sees someone and intentionally pulls over to whack them, that's not good, right? So nonetheless, here's some pretty interesting stuff that I've been doing in here. It was just trying to create these things called masks, and the masks will be used to categorize and classify various shapes and objects of demons and things like this. And there's just so many of them. It's become a very tedious task to do this. But nonetheless, I'm dedicated to doing it, and I wanted to show you guys. So if we just take a look at that, the interesting thing is as we magnify and we come in on these images, right? You might be able to see them as I start to see them now, because someone had suggested if I can trace them out. So let's do that. Okay, so if we look here, you might start to see, let me actually just move this up a little bit toward the bottom first, like that. So let's take a look at what I've traced out right here, right? So, it probably just looks like a bunch of leaves and or grass and stuff, and pretty grainy. But no. There's a lot more going on there than that. And these actually make up the eyes of a much larger one, which I'm going to show you in a second. And you can kind of start to see the divisions of them. There's a dividing line of a demon there. There's a dividing line right there. There's an eye. There's his nose, and there's his mouth right there. And then that mouth becomes the eye, and the nose, and the mouth of another one. But it goes way deeper than that. It's insane, actually, how it's almost like a fractal in many ways. But the deeper you dive into these things, it's so easy to get lost in space, because they just form in so many directions. Like, for example, if we take a look at, say we take a look at just, let me actually scroll up now. Say we take a look at this one right here, say for example, right? Let's just take a look at this one right here. And if we, you can clearly see the eye, there's a nose, and there's this nasty mouth. These demons have nasty teeth. I told them they'll need to go to Demon Dental. If you take a look at this one over here, you can clearly see the eye, the nose, the mouth. He's kind of looking in this direction that way, right? Like if I was to draw a laser beam, I'd draw it that way. This one over here, right? You can see he's kind of looking that way. A lot of them are actually looking directly at me, but you know, the interesting thing about this is if we scroll in even a little bit more and we look, we can see, well, there's another one right here, an eye, a nose, there's a mouth, he's got like a little beard there. And if we look at this one here, you can see him, one looking right at me. There's an eye, look at that eye, looking straight up at the window there, right? There's a nose, there's the mouth. Well, let's scroll in a little bit more. Well, now we see another one, an eye, a nose, a mouth, and he's kind of looking down in that way. And then there's another one, an eye, that's to the side of, the way these demons integrate are absolutely mind-blowing, man. I mean, like, you get lost in space really quick here. Here's another one, eye, nose, mouth. Here's the mouth right here. Let's see, we can come over here. We'll take a look at this one up here now, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Let's take a look at this one right in here. So if we look, we can see what I've traced out there, right? We have an eye here. We have an eye over here. We have a nose, mouth, right? I mean, you can see that pretty clear. It almost looks like he's got like a hat on or something, right? Or a wig or whatever. But you can see his eye, and that's a demon, all right? But let's go in a little deeper onto that one. You can see an eye, and then you go even smaller. You see an eye here, a mouth, an eye here, an eye here, nose, mouth. I mean, just look at these things. If you can't see those, then try very hard to open your minds. So these are how demons form. Here's one right here. An eye, nose, and he's got a big round mouth with really sharp teeth going around his mouth. Look at that. You see him? Right here, literally, right there. And then we can look at this one here. There's another one here. Eye, nose, there's his mouth. And then we can even go in deeper into them. I mean, it just doesn't stop, right? You see one like right here. There's an eye, a nose, and a mouth right there. And then the more we come out, I mean, literally, they're like fractals. This one right here in particular, if I come off of it, you'll see. And when you watch the video, you'll see them move, actually. Now, this was a very still night. There was like no movement of the tree. The leaves were very calm. But yeah, nonetheless, there they are. So what I was going to do is just take the brightness here and kind of bring the brightness down. And bring that. In fact, sometimes when you come out, they're easier to see, actually, than when you come in on them. But like I said, when you come in on them, you're gonna notice the like this one right here. There's eye. You see his mouth there, nose. I mean, they're freaking everywhere, all over the place. There's one eye. There's his mouth, eye, mouth. They're just all over, right? But as you come out, you also see some pretty big ones. Actually, that is the horn of a really big demon. You see that big horn right there sticking up like that? Yeah, that's actually a horn, a demon horn. But nonetheless, now you might be able to see them a little bit better because I've kind of gone in deeper onto them. So if we go over here, you can probably see there's his eye, his nose. He's got a bit. These things love to smile and show their nasty teeth. Of course, I'm not scared of any of them. I have no fear of anything but God. Nothing scares me. I don't care if it's a 50-foot tall fire-breathing dragon at me. I'll find a way to jump down its throat and rip its heart out, because I'm just not going to be, I'm not going to sit here and tolerate this generational demon bullcrap. This is ridiculous. Or any witchcraft or black magic to enable, others to get away with theft. But nonetheless, there's something going on here, and it's integration of many different things that are happening that have literally destroyed my entire life. I don't even know how I'm still standing. I'll be frank. I've been bashed into the ground so many times repeatedly. It's amazing I'm still standing, but I am, and I am because of my faith in God, and that's a fact. Right, I've been dead a long time ago. There's no doubt about that. If we look up here, you can see, right here, you actually see the two little horns right there. That's actually the eyes of yet another demon. So you see, there's an eye, and you can see his nose, his mouth right there. He's a nasty one right there. You'll see him in the tree pretty well, especially when we come out, right? So if I take and just drop this brightness down, I can swap that to the background by simply doing a switch. If I come up here, I go like that. Now the background is there. Now I can trace out other demons, which I'll do here in a second. But I just want to stick with this first layer and kind of show you. So if we take the brightness, we bring that way down to the background. Now we're left with our, what we had. Now if we switch back over to what we carved out, you'll see those are gone now as well. But we'll switch back over to here and switch back over to what we carved out, or back over to here, whichever we want to do. We can save that as is, but this will effectively give us a pretty good idea about what these things are looking like, right? And we can, revert, we can do all kinds of stuff from here, but that's just the first masking that I wanted to show everyone. So if we now go and we take the eraser, we'll switch back over this way, and we'll bring the brightness back up. And we can also adjust contrast as well now, just around these guys. That might help you a little bit more if we just bring the contrast down a bit. You'll see them come out a lot better. Sometimes it's the contrast, sometimes it's the highlights around them. I mean, it's just, they have so many layers. It's very, very difficult to sometimes determine what the right approach is. But we can also change the exposure. We can bring it up. We can bring the exposure down. They tend to like to come out more when it's a little bit darker. We can take the highlights and move the highlights up or down, depending on what we want to do here. Take the shadows up or down, right? And we can start to see different layers of them, of course. Like watch this. If I move this shadow down like quite a bit, and I zoom in, let's move these shadows down to about there. And let's take the highlights, and we'll move them back down a little bit more to maybe about right there. And the contrast, that's a little too dark. Let's move it to like right about there. And I'll bring the brightness down slightly or up. We'll see which one looks better. You just gotta play with it. If you know what you're looking for, then it does really help out quite a bit. But I think probably maybe there, all right, there should be good. Now if I come over here and I zoom in a little bit and I move up, I'm going to show you something here that's really cool. So look across the top there, and then it's just looking up. It just crashed again. This happens quite a bit with this software. I don't know why it crashes all the time, but it does. Let's reopen that again. Probably because I got too much stuff going on. I got 128 gigs of memory on this machine, though. Now the only thing I have left is my computer with my graphics cards and some. I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty shocked I'm still alive. They've managed to do some severe damages. Wells Fargo. They've been having me kicked out of banks since 2011. Wells Fargo kicked me out. I literally just got my SBA PPP in for my company, and they took $11,000 and did not give it back to me. Shut my account down. And that was definitely a BS camp. It just so happened to be the day I was going to go and pay for the rent for Amber and my ex-wife and her man and the kids and everything. And the landlord just looked at us like we were, like we were lepers. He wouldn't even accept the money that I offered to pay him in full. I'm like, look, man, technically, we still have COVID going on. I mean, what are you doing, dude? Why, what's going on? Well, what I didn't realize until my landlord let me know that, they had reached out to her as well. And she had told them if they ever reach out to her again, that, she would file harassment charges and temporary restraining order against him. But apparently that wasn't the case. So Smiley, guys. You're on the camera now. Yeah. We're gonna show the world what y'all look like. I think it's about time people know that you exist. Huh. So bizarre. If you look toward the back window, I mean they're spread all throughout. I mean you probably can't see them the way I can, but believe me, they're here, they're everywhere. They in particular like to hang out right here in my room with me. They were here for actually a long time, a lot longer than I thought, which means they were definitely here before Sonia and I ever met. That's my ex-fiance, and they've caused a lot of problems. They've caused a lot of problems, that's for sure. And now we'll take the inverse. See what that does. That's pretty cool. These effects that you can do. Huh, that's interesting. Take this. Go. Where the heck is that's kind of weird. I see what that did. Yeah. Now I'm just playing around with this, seeing what kind of different things we can do to capture them down there. So we go. We go back here. That's weird. So it's time to check out the actual video of my front yard around 11 p.m. a few nights ago. It's pretty much that way every night. Some nights get pretty intense, no doubt. It's clear the BS camp thought I would go mentally insane so they could run around and tell people, how much of a sociopath I am. I don't even think they actually know what that word means. Nonetheless, what they failed to remember is I'm a God-fearing person, and I have absolutely no fear in anything but God. And I will fight the good fight and go down swinging hard until I die as a warrior of God who wears the only armor I need, which is my faith. That is why God stands before me, and my faith in God is why I'm still alive. I will never cave into fear or anger, and always have love in my heart, even for those that have done me wrong. No matter what these weak-minded fools do to make me into the monster, while they, the real monsters, play the victim to frame me for the criminal actions done against me and my companies to hide the truth from ever being exposed. Nothing but disgraces to the human race. Liars, deceivers, betrayers, thieves, and pathetic cowards hiding behind their dark shadows of lies and deception to get away with theft, among many other criminal actions done against me, including threatening my life repeatedly. While the FBI and local law enforcement have not done a single thing to stop their repeated attacks against me with black magic and witchcraft to curse me and help to return all that was stolen from me and my companies. They cannot change the love in my heart. They cannot steal my mind. They cannot change my faith in God, period. I will add in the edge detection algorithm about halfway through. May God have mercy on their souls. One thing important to remember is while they may have their political connections in with, the SEC or whoever else they deal with, the judicial systems, it doesn't matter in the court of God. And they will all face God at some point. And at that point in time, they can't pay off God. And they're going to have to pay for what they've done. That's all there is to it. This is absolutely sickening. It's so far beyond mental illness, I don't even know what to say about it. But I'm still standing, still alive, somehow by the grace of God. And like I said, I'm going to fight all the way until my death, if that's what it takes, and make sure that that the truth comes out about these people. And that's all anyone could ask me. That's all anyone could ask of me to do. Now perhaps you can start to understand what these pathetic people have done